I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order at 7 o'clock, 7:05 on December 5th. And may you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item on the agenda is, may I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel? Sarah moves. John seconds. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay. This should be about 20 minutes. Do we have three? I have a motion to return to open session. Sarah moves. Marcy seconds. All in favor? Unanimous. Terrific. Okay, next item on the agenda is the first Selectmen's report. We had an agreement reached between Eversource, Condot, and Metro North regarding the trees on Little Brook and Darien, and it's available for review on the town website. The agreement includes a planting plan and a list of plants and trees that you can see on the website, as well as the actual agreement. Eversource will be removing 10 small trees, like brush-sized trees, in the vicinity of Little Brook this coming Thursday. This has nothing to do with this project. This is on their right-of-way, okay? They will be doing, it will be starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we received official notice, which is not required. So when we receive official notice, we will be posting it on the website. So again, it's 10 trees on Eversource's property on this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Congratulations to New Canaan for winning the Turkey Bowl and for winning the most generous town competition, with over $400,000 raised for local charities between Darien and New Canaan. So that is a win for both New Canaan and Darien. On November 21st, the Darien Health Department received recognition for its commitment to public health and safety from Governor Lamont in celebration of National Public Health Workers' Day. I echo the governor's sentiments, and on behalf of the residents of Darien, I extend our sincere appreciation to the health department. On Tuesday, December 14th, a community overdose awareness and Narcan training program is being held at Post 53. This event is co-sponsored by Post 53, the Hub, the Thriving Youth Task Force, and Kids in Crisis. The link for those that are 18 and older to register can be found on our homepage, our website. Seating is limited, and all attendees will receive a free Narcan overdose kit at that time. With the arrival of cooler temperatures, the hours at the Darien and the Norotan train station have been changed. They've been adjusted, and Monday through Friday, the station will be open from 4:55 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, it'll be open from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. And the public will have access to the indoor space and also to the bathrooms during these hours. In spite of the inclement weather last Sunday, it was wonderful to see all of the people, the tall and those little ones, that made it to the 44th annual tree lighting at the Darien Sports Shop. It was really a fun event. This Saturday, December 10th, the Park and Rec Department is hosting an old-fashioned Christmas from 2 to 4 at Tilly Pond Park. And on Wednesday, December 21st, at 6 p.m., there will be a menorah lighting at the Grove Street Plaza. More holiday events can also be found on the Chamber of Commerce's website. Wreaths Across America is a national organization with a mission to remember, honor, and teach by coordinating wreath-laying ceremonies at veteran cemeteries around the country on December 17th at 12 p.m. The Monuments and Ceremonies Commission will be hosting a brief ceremony followed by the adorning of the graves with wreaths in Spring Grove Cemetery. All are welcome to attend and participate in this. And finally, I'd like to remind everybody that the state of the town is on the 12th before the RTM. And we will have Jim Palin, who's chair of the Board of Finance, Duke Deneen, chair of the Board of Ed, and Steve Ovini, chair of Planning and Zoning, as well as myself giving reports on what is going on in town. And I hope that everybody will take the time to tune in on 79 or in person. And that's it for Selectmen. Kate, do we have anything?
Just quickly, Jen Charneski and I are looking at the town's purchasing policy and procedures. Some things that we may want to change just internally ourselves, but we also may be coming to you in the coming months with a proposal to increase the level at which we're required to go out to bid, trying to get us up a little bit more current. The $10,000 limit has been in place for a couple decades, so time to take a look at it.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
No? Okay. Next is Selectmen liaison reports, Sarah?
Sure. Following up on the Youth Summit from Thriving Youth, there's a meeting this week with students who were a part of the Youth Summit. On Sunday, they'll be planning for their next steps, and they're clarifying the 4 major themes that came out of that Youth Summit, which were trust, pressure, control, and fun. There is a communication plan that's also being developed based on how much the students want to lead and present their findings. And there's a strong push to have the students remain owners of the product, so to speak, of the Youth Summit, of the themes and the presentations. So they'll be meeting soon. As far as Hinley Homes Royal Building Committee, the Connecticut OSCG&R, this is the State Construction Grant Review Office, will be doing a walkthrough of all the schools soon as they process the applications. Right now, cost estimators are working, and the committee will be hearing from design development estimates soon. There's a meeting coming up with ARB on December 13th, and P&Z will be soon with a resubmission for Hinley and Royal. There is a focus on homes with stormwater management, and then parking issues will also be addressed for homes. Our next meeting is virtual, and it will be on December 14th.
And what's going on with drainage at Hinley, or at Holmes?
So right now they're looking at where the water is draining, and they're going to try to move some of it away from the area where they were thinking they were going to put a detention pond, and try to maybe bring it away from Phillips or Lake or over down to Hoyt Street. So they're going to see if they can do that. There is a consensus from the committee that they're going to look into a closed drainage system, because it's safer since it's next to a school. And that is one of the bigger issues. There is, concern about drainage there.
So are they thinking an underground detention?
Yes, an underground closed system. Sorry. Yes, thank you. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And when are the discussions on that? Do you know? Do you remember?
They're continuing, but don't have the date off the top of my head for the planning and zoning, but they will be looking at that. The Hinley and Royal will be going first, but because there is a couple of issues that they want to make sure they get right at Homes, they're doing that second. So I think it's January 10th, I want to say, but I may have that date wrong. But they're definitely looking at that as a big push.
And the Hinley, there was drainage there too, and has that been solved?
They're looking at it,
Okay.
That was part of the original scope of the project.
Right.
There is a drainage pipe that's in the back that will be affected by the construction, but also some of the neighbors have noted that there's, so that is absolutely a part of their planning and making sure that they're handling that.
Great, so they're being listened to.
100%.
That's great, good to hear.
I've been very impressed actually with the design team. As soon as the Homes neighbors spoke up, they immediately incorporated feedback, and we're trying very hard to make sure that their concerns were addressed. And
I saw that with Curtis. It was like so fast.
I was incredibly impressed.
Yeah.
And appreciated very much.
Right.
It was it wasn't like turning the Titanic around. So.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. John?
IT committee has not met since our last meeting, but definite progress that we've made.
Okay, all right.
Same, we have not met for Oxford Building Committee and for a mental health task force at this point yet since our last meeting, so I'll keep you updated.
Okay, great. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? No?
Nothing by email.
Nothing by email? Okay. All right. If we don't have anything there, next item on the agenda is new business. Take action, discuss and take action on a request from the police department for a waiver of bidding requirements. And I am going to ask Kate to go over this.
Simply, this is a purchase that does not lend itself to bidding. They're looking for very specific types of equipment, and discretion is involved because of the nature of what they're doing. So it would not lend itself to bidding. They have identified the item to purchase and at a reasonable price. So, I believe you all did get the choice memo. Okay.
Is it more of the unappropriateness as to whether it needs to go out to bid, or does this get to your dollar threshold issue from before?
If we increase the dollar threshold to where Jen and I believe it should be, this would not have had to go out to bid, would not require a waiver.
11,000 or?
Pardon?
11,000 instead of 10,000?
No, 25,000 is what we're thinking about. Yeah, if we were at that threshold, which a number of our neighbors are,
Okay.
it would not have had to go out to bid.
Okay.
I appreciated that it came in budget or under.
Any other questions, discussion? No? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the request from the police department for a waiver of bidding requirements? Marcy moves. John seconds. All in favor? Unanimous. Terrific. Okay. Next item on the agenda are appointments. And I want to just say that I know everybody on the board, but I'll speak for myself. People can chime in if they would like that. This town runs on volunteers, and we have, even this evening, interviewed some terrific candidates. So it is so greatly appreciated by this board, but also by everybody in town for the people that step forward and donate their time and their expertise. So first item on the agenda is, may I have a motion to approve the appointment of Sue Oakey as the Commission on Aging's representative to the Blight Review Board for a term expiring 12/31/24. Sarah moves, John seconds, all in favor, unanimous. Terrific. Okay. Now, next item on the agenda is to reappoint the members of the Blight Review Board. And I'd like to note that the following reappointments are members of the Blight Review Board serving at the request of the board or commission they represent. While the reappointment is for 2 years, individuals may seek a replacement from the board or the commission at any time. So at this time, may I have a motion to approve the reappointment of George Riley, representing Planning and Zoning Commission, Michael Lamont, Human Services Commission, Mike Burke, Board of Selectmen, Ed Washeka, RTM, to the Blight Review Board for the term expiring 12/31/24. Marcy moves, Sarah seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Wonderful. Okay, next item on the agenda is to appoint a member to the Architectural Review Board for a term expiring June 30th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the appointment of David Sands Humphrey to the Architectural Review Board for a term expiring June 30th, 2025. Marcy moves, Sarah seconds, all in favor? Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the appointment of Christina Hart as an alternate to the Architectural Review Board for a term expiring on June 30th, 23, and a subsequent term expiring on June 30th, 2027. Sarah moves, John seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the appointment of John McGrath as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term expiring on June 30th, 2025? John moves, Sarah seconds, all in favor? Terrific. Unanimous. Okay, next is reappointment of advisory committee members. So I'm going to read them all, and we will vote on them as a group. May I have a motion to approve the reappointment of the following advisory boards and commission members to another term expiring June 31st, 2023? Advisory Board of Health.
Is
No.
that the date, June 31st? Not 12?
December,
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry, December 31st of 2023. Sorry, I'm looking at too many numbers here. Okay, Advisory Board of Health is Christine Castles, Kevin Cunningham, Jennifer Geddes, Andy Mathesian, James McPatrick, Jim, and then Advisory Committee on Darien Government Access TV 79, it's Jim Cameron, Sean Calvillo, Dennis Cummings, David Deaver, Robert Flynn, Mike Wheeler, and Carrie Wasaki. On the Advisory Commission on Coastal Waters, we have Bill Cavers, David Deaver, James Furlong, Flip Hufford, David Kahn, Julie Jones, Grant Tancus, and Bill Wright. And on the Advisory Committee on Sustainability, Carolyn Bain, Amanda Craig, Dan Delsetti, Kathy Finnegan, Christine Lahuni, and Clifford Van
Voorhees.
Thank you. Voorhees. Sorry about that, Clifford. So, may I have a second? Marcy seconds. All in favor?
Who was the motion?
Oh, wait, who moved?
I thought Marcy did.
Oh, I can move.
Marcy moves.
I thought she did, which I'm happy to.
Okay, Marcy moves. Sarah seconds. All in favor? Okay, thank you. So if anyone is watching and is interested in a board or a commission and wants information on how to apply, you can take a look at our website under How Do I, that tab, and there are current vacancies on the following commissions and committees: the Advisory Commission on Coastal Waters, the Advisory Committee on Sustainability, Beautification Commission, Human Services Commission, Monuments and Ceremonies Commission, and the Youth Commission. And we are also looking for one more person to work on the Hinley Homes Royal Building Committee. So if you're interested in doing that, please contact my office. Next item on the agenda is to review and approve the minutes of the November 21st, 2022 regular meeting. Any edits, additions, deletions?
Looks
Okay.
good.
All right. May I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? John moves. Marcy seconds. All in favor? Excellent. Any future items that board members would like to see on the agenda?
Kate started this charter review. We were going through things.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
I uncovered the list recently. What we found was a lot of the things were much more complicated. It'd be easier, I think, if there were things that you all wanted to address. If we then spoke to Wayne about what could be done and could not be done.
Do we have maybe a prioritized list, and maybe are there things that maybe we should be addressing sooner than others? I don't know that we necessarily need to walk through every single thing, but I don't know if there's things that maybe have a time limit that we need to be looking at.
I'll take a look at what we had talked about in the past. And maybe in January come back, because I
We
know
had the budget in January.
we have the
so
budget in
I know.
January. I just know the meeting later this month, we have a number of things. It'll be busier than tonight.
No problem.
Um,
We can look at it in February. I just didn't want to forget.
You know, I did see Kate at one of these meetings I went to. I don't know if it was Westcog or Council of Small Towns, but one of the things that came up as a possible discussion for the legislative session this year is to make it easier to make charter revisions. So let me circle back on that, because that could change how much work is involved with doing this.
Well, and the last time we went through a full charter revision with the commission and everything, One of the things they learned was that if that had passed, it would have limited, might have even eliminated the RTM's ability to make changes to the charter on an ongoing basis. So you'd have to wait for a full one. So we should give careful consideration
Okay, we'll
to
look
how
at-
we go about it.
Yeah, we'll look into that. Okay. Any other items?
No.
No? Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn? Sarah moves, John seconds. All in favor?